Hey everyone, welcome to an Authentic Health Podcast. I'm your host, and it is a beautiful day because we're here, we're chatting, and I just love podcasts so dang much. And I know, life happens, some weeks go by. I would love to upload one every single week, and maybe that day will come. But it's hard for me to record a podcast if I don't feel something like super compelling, is that the right word, to do it. And I never just want to come on here and just like blabber. Is that the right word? Just like talk nonsense, basically. I respect y'all's time so much, and the fact that you are here either watching or listening, I appreciate it so much. So love y'all, adore y'all so much. So thank you. And if you're watching on YouTube, I do upload these on YouTube, and there's really no other reason to upload on YouTube other than I personally like watching podcasts and like when I'm getting ready or if I'm eating. I don't turn on TV per se. I'll turn on, like a YouTube or a podcast, and I like watching it. I feel like it's a lot more friendly, and I just become, I don't know. I like it that way. So if you are watching on YouTube, I have this like new cinematic effect on. I'm feeling real fancy right now. So let me know if you literally even notice. If not, totally fine. But today's topic, you can see in the headline, we opened a women's wellness virtual clinic. Da-da, and the crowd goes wild. Woo! Yay. I don't have one of those soundboard things. But I opened an Authentic Health Women's Wellness Virtual Clinic. But I don't want to say I because it's a we. So I'm going to jump into all of the things, but I am so freaking excited, and I feel very blessed and honored to sit here and say that we opened a wellness clinic. Okay, we're just going to start from the top. And why I came, why I wanted to do this, all the things. So let's just start big picture. Authentic Health is my, so the actual name is Authentic Health Nutrition. Legally, that's the name. It's very nutrition focused. I started this business, Authentic Health Nutrition. We're coming up on 3 years next month, and that is just crazy to me. But a few reasons. I have a big passion for disease prevention. I absolutely know that like inpatient and, disease healing, after you get that diagnosis, whatever it may be, I 100% value that. I know it's extremely important, but my heart just lies a little bit more with the disease prevention. I have a huge passion of helping women find love and excitement in going to the gym or trying a new recipe or just learning and educating, me personally educating how to fuel our bodies so that we don't possibly have to get on a medication. Or if you're having hormonal imbalance symptoms or issues, PMS, infertility, like all of that, if we can heal that through lifestyle nutrition and certain fitness routines and specific exercises, heck yeah, we're going to do that. So anyways, my big passion is disease prevention. And so that's why I started Authentic Health, because I wanted a space to work with women how I want to. I want to be on our time. I don't want time constraints. I don't want someone else to tell us what we can and cannot talk about. So yeah, that's why I started Authentic Health. I could go on a tangent about that. But really, really big on you and I work together. What do we need to get done? If it's after work and the kids go to bed and that's when your consult needs to be, great, love it. We'll figure it out. So yeah, it's just a lot more flexible. It's a lot more personable. Like in my one-on-one clients, for example, and I am accepting new clients if you're looking for some help with nutrition, fitness, healing some symptoms, things like that, let me know. But me and my clients have a personal one-on-one portal. They can message me. It's like a whole dang party in there. It is so fun. It's a lot more interactive. So yeah, I've been loving that too. I'm going on a tangent. What was I talking about? why I started Authentic Health and then, okay. So the nutrition side of things and fitness, that's my ball game. That's what I love to do. But there is a line where dietitians can only help so much with the emotion and mental side of health. We definitely take counseling classes, with intuitive eating and, body dysmorphia and healing relationship with food. Absolutely, we got you there. But then it does transition a little bit where not you listening right now, but someone may need to speak with a mental health therapist or a professional with that. And so, there is a line between disordered eating or, diagnosed eating disorder, but then a transition to maybe anxiety, depression, some of those diagnoses as well, which that is not my ball game. And so I was talking with clients or just, in general, and I was having to refer out, or I was having to be like, well, you know what, we have to cut the conversation there because that's not my realm. I will help you find someone, but like needs to go somewhere else. So then that was putting more stress on the client or the female that I was working with, because now they have to go see someone else. That's another hour long in their week. That's someone else they have to, pay for. And it just becomes extremely overwhelming. And then throw in the mamas in there, whether you are trying to conceive or just like in general, women's health. Okay. Like if I throw out pelvic floor, do you automatically think that's only for postpartum women? Because to be honest, I did. I never thought I needed pelvic floor help or I didn't know anything was wrong. And now I'm very educated, so we'll get into that in a second. But a lot of women think that they can't get the help they need. Again, they don't want to, go through insurance, or they don't want to find a provider. They don't have time. They're already stressed. They're already, struggling with infertility or going through a pregnancy or postpartum. That like one more thing on their plate just does not sound like something they want to do. So basically, I had this idea where I was like, man, if what I'm doing as a dietitian is overall wellness, I have overall wellness on all of my platforms, on my website. Like you and I are not just going to talk about food. We're going to talk about your relationship with fitness. We're going to talk about your sleep. We're going to talk about your stress at work. We're going to talk about all of the things, okay? All of the things. But if I'm preaching overall wellness, but I can't help you in certain areas, well, then that's not really overall wellness. So my mind went off and I was like, well, why the heck am I not working with other healthcare providers? Like if I can't help you in this realm, well, why don't I bring someone else in that can? And that's where the virtual women's wellness clinic was born. So I always had this idea. I've wanted to do this for a while. The idea of working 100% by myself all the time does not sound fun. I love talking. I love collaboration. My best ideas, my best work come from when I'm working with someone else. And it's just fun. It's just fun. Being around women is my favorite thing to do. So my sister is a mental health therapist and she specializes in women's health. So she used to work at a crisis nursery. So she worked, all things postpartum, just in general. I'm going to say it out there. Women are freaking fantastic and y'all are rock stars. I don't know how many men I have listening to this podcast. I don't think it's many. I think my percent of male population following, I guess you can say, is like 5%. It's super, super low, which is fine with me. Unless Dad, I think you listen to my podcast maybe. Hey, Dad. But women truly wear 1,001 hats and we're moving a mile a minute. And I don't even have kids. So if you're a mama out there and you guys are rock stars. So the goal that I had was an overall wellness experience. I would love for one day to have a place where you as a a female, a woman could come in and you could speak with a pelvic floor therapist. You could speak to a trainer. There could be a cycle class that you can take. There's a dietitian doing meal prep. You can bring a meal home with you. There's a smoothie bar. Like, I know that's a lot, but just basically a center where you walk in and you are supported as a female in healthcare. And you are supported in your healthcare as a female. There you go. But that is a lot. If I have any investors out there, let me know, because building a facility like that would be a lot. So let's start virtual. And to be honest, in today's world, I mean, Authentic Health already is 100% virtual. My sister is a mental health therapist. She does all of her consults virtual. That's where I was going. Kelli, as a mental health therapist, I'll get back to her in a second. Basically, we live in a world where virtual consults are awesome. It can work better with your schedule. It can work better with my schedule. You don't have to go out and sit in a waiting room and all of the things. So I was like, okay, well, first step, let's get Kelli on board, because again, I work with women that kind of are on the line of, I can help you here, but now let's have someone else step in too. We can both work together to do overall wellness, to heal that relationship with food from mind and body. So I was like, no brainer. Kelli needs to come in. And Kelli does have her own private practice, counseling, mental health therapy as well. So we already have our own thing. So I was like, why the heck are we not under one roof to give women more support? So that's kind of where it started. And then, again, I work with a lot of women, let's just say like 20s, 30s, kind of that range. So we are either working on getting off birth control, figuring out our cycles, maybe just had a PCOS or endometriosis diagnosis, struggling with infertility, or around that time where we're going to start thinking about having babies. So do I need to start tracking my ovulation? Of course, pregnancy, and then postpartum. Not saying I'm an expert in every single one of those realms, but I will definitely say my niche for women's health is kind of that young adult, figuring out hormones, conception, things like that. So I was seeing a lot of women, that postpartum and just pregnancy, and they were telling me things like, the pain with sex, just, had a baby. Can I exercise? I am a certified trainer, but I am not a pelvic floor specialist. There's only so much that I can do. So I was like, well, why the heck don't we add a pelvic floor specialist on the team? And I am not kidding when I tell you this is a godsend. Like, this is truly the Lord showing me Jemila. So I met Jemila through social media. It was very random, and I saw one video. Literally one video. I messaged her. That next day we had a call scheduled. And we actually joked about this the other day, because technically, we hired her on to Authentic Health. Not really doing a ton of digging into who she is, but something just felt so right. It was so seamless. The process happened so easy. And even Jemila said she doesn't check messages a ton from quote unquote random people, because so much of it is spam. And for some reason she clicked on it, and her prayer for the year, and she has it written in her books and journals and things like that, was to find collaboration with other healthcare providers in women's health. And I just learned this, and I just think that's the coolest thing. Like, it's a match made in heaven. Literally, we just worked really well together. So I gave her kind of my ideas of what I, was trying to build. And Jemila also has her own private practice for pelvic floor and diastasis recti. So she's a specialist in both of those. She has an in-person practice in Texas, and I also believe New Jersey, but she travels back and forth, but she lives in Texas. And then she has a huge online practice and presence online. So I was like, okay, each one of us has our own private practice, nutrition specific, mental health specific, and then pelvic floor and diastasis recti specialist in specific. Why the heck are we not coming together to allow women to gain support without having to specifically buy this huge program from each of us? I love my one-on-one clients, and we're going to try to make it, each one of us providers have, private one-on-one coaching if that's the route you want to do. And we're going to make it as efficient, affordable, and all the things for you. So that's a whole nother thing. But we were like, women should be able to have a space, a safe space, a private space to ask questions, to find support, to find community through other women literally going through the same thing. Because sometimes all it takes is, hey, I experience XYZ, and it's exactly what you're experiencing. And a simple like, hey, I'm here with you is amazing. But then also having the education and like that actual knowledge from healthcare providers to give the resources and to educate. So that we basically came together and we're like, all right, let's join in together. So we created a virtual space. It's private. It's for females only. And each one of the providers has their own section within the clinic. I'm doing quotations around clinic. It is a clinic, but it is all virtual. So basically, you walk in the quote unquote doors and you can decide which space you want to go in. You are welcome to join every single one of the spaces that each provider has. But let's say Jemila has a postpartum section in her group. If you want to join that to learn and to just educate yourself, awesome, love that. But if you're not postpartum and you don't want to see some of that stuff, you do not have to join her section for that. Again, you are absolutely welcome to, but you do not have to. So more of the story is now we are all under one virtual roof, and you can join our group to have a safe space to chat. There's so much resources in there, live workouts, recipes, meal plans. I did a live call on Monday night, this past Monday night, over insulin resistance, and it was so awesome. It was great. The questions that the women were asking, it was a live call, feedback, it was a conversation. So I was there to educate on what it is, what it could be if you're experiencing it. There's a big link to PCOS and insulin resistance. And one of the main things with insulin resistance is you really don't know you have it unless you kind of dig in. One of the main symptoms is just stubborn weight gain or the inability to lose weight. So I did my whole call on this topic and then chatted on, okay, well, how do we fix that? Like if I posted a reel about insulin resistance, and even if I threw some tips at you on, social media platform like Instagram, okay, that's great. It gives me a 10-second blurb, what it is, how to help, but it's not that community. It's not that safe space for you to ask questions and to find support and just be able to implement some of these and then to have continued support. So by joining our clinic, you do not have to necessarily work one-on-one with us to find that support. Message in there. You have direct messaging with all of the providers. Let us know how things are going. We're going to check in with you. And so basically, it's continued support in between those meetings. So if you go into your, yearly checkup or appointment, you go in there 10, 15 minutes, they check things over, you get the good to go, and then where is the support until your next annual? Unless you reach out, you go to more appointments, things like that. So our main goal was just for women to find that one space that they've been looking for, where it's all together, because overall wellness is not just nutrition. It's not just fitness. It's not just your pelvic floor health, and it's not just mental health. It's everything together, and that can become extremely overwhelming for you to find all of that on your own. So let us do it for you. And it's been a really fun space to build. We are building new members and meeting women in our community and outside. So yeah, our Instagram is the Authentic Health Clinic. I'll tag everything below. That's a great place to start and message us if you have any questions. But I just wanted to come on and do a quick video and podcast about what we're doing and why we're doing it, and just kind of the why behind it. So yeah, we're finding a ton of passion and and support through it. And so we're so excited to bring it to you. And our goal is to continue to expand providers. So as the more members come in and the more support is needed, we can do different specialties. So maybe a fertility specialist, or maybe a PCOS specific dietitian, and all the things. So again, if you have any questions, please let me know. This has been truly a blessing, and I'm so excited to continue to grow it. So anyways, thanks for checking in and watching this video or listening to the podcast. All of the information will be below about how you can find us and learn more about the clinic. But again, thank you so much for listening, and I hope this was helpful in sharing a little bit about what we're doing. Love y'all so much, and I hope y'all have such a great day wherever you are and whatever you're doing until we chat next on the next episode. Bye, y'all. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. Your support means more than you know. If you enjoyed this episode, I would be so grateful if you could leave a kind review, subscribe to this podcast, as well as share this on your social media with a screenshot. I am blessed to have this opportunity to connect with individuals like you and hopefully bring you some happiness today. You are the reason Authentic Health is possible. I value all of you so much. If you'd like to get to know me a little bit more, you can find me on Instagram at Lacey_Authentic Health, as well as my website listed in the description below. So thank you again, and until the next episode, let's chase our best selves and make it a great day.